Lesson 64, adding positive and negative numbers. So we're going to draw a number line. And we're going to add on the number line the 3 plus 4. Now, these numbers are both positive, the 3 and the 4. So, if you remember from our previous lesson, positive numbers go to the right. We always start at 0. So we do a little dotted line up from 0. We're going to go to the right 3 units. Then we're going to draw a little dotted line up, and we're going to go to the right 4 units from where we start. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw our dot line down, circle the answer. So 3 plus 4 is 7. Now you can do this in your head, I know, but when it says use a number line, you've got to show the number line. So just a reminder on the homework, when it says use a number line, if you just give me the answer, you'll get it marked wrong. Okay, so even if your answer is correct, I got to see the number line. So then we're going to do one that's adding 2 negatives together. So if you remember, we learned negative numbers go to the left. Excellent. So since these are both negative, I'm going to put my 0 on this side. So we go up from 0, go left 3, 1, 2, 3. Draw a dotted line up from the end of that arrow and go to the left 4 more. Drop down, circle your answer. So part of your number line, when you are drawing the number line to find the answer, part of the answer is dropping down and circling the correct answer. Now when you add a negative and a positive, so we draw our number line, we start at 0 and go up. Our first number's negative, so we're going to go left 4 units. Our second number is positive, so we need to go 3 units to the right. We go 1, 2, 3, drop down, circle the answer. So when we add 2 numbers with the same sign, I'm going to give you a couple of steps. Adding 2 numbers with the same sign. First, add their absolute values. And number 2, the answer has the same sign as the 2 numbers. So if they have the same sign, positive or negative, just add the absolute values. And then you look at the beginning, and if they were positive, the answer will be positive. If they were both negative, the answer will be negative. So that's just adding same sign.
Negative 3 plus negative 3.
Well, if you did the absolute value of negative 3, that's 3 units. And then the absolute value of negative 4 is just 4 units. So you just add 3 plus 4 to get 7. And then
No.
since they were both negative, the answer will be negative.
But it says add their absolute value, so -3.
The absolute value of negative
6,
3.
positive 6, which is 3, so then
But
No,
it's
no,
just
no.
like putting a line over it.
Yeah, the absolute value of negative 3 is just 3.
It's just like putting a line.
Do you remember absolute value? It has the 2 lines on the side, and it means how far away from 0 is it? So negative 3 is 3 units away from 0. So the absolute value of negative 3 equals 3. Okay, so it's just how far away is it? The distance. And distance can't be negative. Okay? If we are adding numbers with different signs, you start by subtracting their absolute values. So find the absolute values. That means just strip the number of its sign. So there's no signs on it. And then the larger absolute value gives the sign. To the answer. So, for example, the negative 4 plus 3. Take the absolute values. So the absolute value of negative 4 plus the absolute value of 3. So that's just 4 and 3. Subtract them. Just put the bigger one first. 4 minus 3 is 1. And then the bigger absolute value, this is the one you put right here, you go back to the beginning and its sign was a negative. So it gives that negative to the answer. So it becomes a negative 1. Okay? There's another way to think about it. I like to think of like teams, positive and negative teams of positive and negative, like if one team were negatives and one team were positive. And if you're playing a game, and so the negative team here has 4 people, or 4, whoever's playing, and this team has 3, so the positives have 3. Which team has more, and by how many more? So does the negative team or the positive team have more players? The negative team, because it had 4 negatives, and this one had 3 positive. And how many more does it have?
-1.
1. So that's your answer is negative 1. So sometimes, I don't know, I like to think of teams. There's other ways to think of it, but I don't know. Seems like everyone's always playing games nowadays, so if you had like a team, that might help. And how many more does the other team have? That's not fair. They got 1 more, whatever. Anyway, end of the lesson.